Do you think you can do that in where you live? Hello guys, it's Nick here. Today I'm going to tell you how you can be fluent in new language without studying abroad. Coming up. So, this is a huge myth for all of second language learners. My mission is help you to be fluent and be natural in Japanese. But if you don't live in Japan, how are you going to improve your Japanese in where you live? First, I'm going to share how I studied English as an example, so you might be able to find a new way to study. This is just my experience, so don't worry. I'm not going to say this is the best way to learn. Alright, let's go say it. So, I was born and raised in Japan, and when I was 12, I watched an American TV show, and it was dubbed in Japanese, but I still enjoyed, and I fell into the show world. Then I wanted to live in the States because of the show, but to live in the States, I need to speak English. So I've started to take English class at school so serious since that. And I watched the show many times until I remember all of the Japanese lines, then watched the original version with subtitles to memorize what they say in English. Then I graduated middle school, went to high school, dropped out, blah blah blah. Then I started to work. And in this time, first smartphone has been released, as you know, iPhone. Then I started Facebook, then signed up on a language exchange partner and sent friend requests to them and text with them. Then I changed my job, and there's a lot of native English speakers. It was my first match to the native English speakers. Then I was like super overwhelmed, like wow, this is what I wanted and I want to talk to them, but I was not confident in English at all. But I had to communicate with them because it was part of my job. But I had some practice with texting with native English speakers, but when I was in front of gaikokujin, I couldn't come up any words. So I wrote a note before I speak. With the note, I could speak, but without a note, I couldn't speak. And one day, I was on an elevator with gaikokujin, and she started to talk to me in native speed. But I did understand. I caught all of the words she said without translating in my head. And I was like super overwhelmed and excited, happy that I did understand what she said without any problems. And then I realized this is how I speak Japanese. You know, no translation in my head. So I've started thinking how I learned my first language. I don't translate to anything in my head when it comes to Japanese. So if I can switch the coming out word from my mind, English to Japanese, I can talk like native and be able to communicate smoother. So I tried these things. When I think something, I use English in my mind. What do I mean? So when you think something, you speak in your mind. So I try to think everything in English. And when I can't express my feelings or don't know how to say, I used English dictionary. And number two, surrounded myself in English and try not to use Japanese as much as I could. So when I had to engage to the Japanese, I always tried to translate Japanese to English in my head and change my language setting on my iPhone, then stopped learning by translating, then I try to forget my own language so I can stick to the English. Stupid, right? Number 3, get to know the culture of the English-speaking country. So like respect each other and lady first, self-defense, something like that. And anyway, I was crazy into English and I still love English. Alright, that was how I studied English as a second language. Then now, let's analyze what studying abroad affects you. Let's go. So, studying abroad means you want to immerse yourself in your target language. But immersing yourself in your target language is going to be stressful because there's a culture gap. If you're a beginner, it's going to be boring because all of things are not understandable. Like rules, products in the supermarkets, everything. So, you might be able to solve the problem when something happened on you if you're fluent in your target language or people around you speaks your own language. So you can ask for the help. However, if you're living in other country but you want to learn a foreign language, you can still surround yourself in your target language. So immersed versus surrounded. Which one do you think it's better to learn if you're beginner or intermediate? So what you can do when you're surrounded in your target language is you're gonna have to speak your target language to live in there. It's almost like you force yourself to speak and engage to your target language every single day so you can encourage and keep yourself motivated with learning. And you can also learn the culture to help your learning.
So how knowing culture helps your learning?
For example, in Japan, we are strict to manners, social rules, and morals. To live in Japan and build a good relationship with Japanese people, you have to learn how to speak in those situations because that situations are coming from our culture, morals, and rules. So what's behind of the language is culture. And behind of the culture, history. Okay, back to the topic. Surround yourself in your target language. Do you think you can do that in where you live? I would say yes. When you decide go there or not, you're gonna learn the target language more or less because you have a purpose for that. I was so serious about learning English because I had a dream living in the States. So what's your purpose? What is your goal? Like, you want to make some friends? You want to be fluent? You go there often so you want to learn a basic phrase? Or just curious? But as you know, repetition and keep using a language is the key. Sometimes when you're tired or busy, just no time to study, just listening through something in your target language or think something in your head. We've got many sources in this 2020, like you've got smartphones and laptop, YouTube, website, even AI is growing these days. So how about talk to your Siri, like, hey Siri, what's up? Something like that. Start something that you can engage to your target language every single day. Like, use sticky notes and you write, esto es un refrigerador. Or like TV, televi, and money, tien. Dolati tien. Or start talking to your cats and dogs like, Xin chào, ¿cómo estás? ¿Onaka You can start from small things. Or your feelings, like, hôm nay estoy cansado. 疲れた時は tomar una siesta. So you don't have to care about grammars. Just change the word that you know so you can use it every day and you're going to be able to use that word without translating because you use it every day. So your body is going to remember how to express your feelings in your target language. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful, and if you agree with my opinions, hit the like button and subscribe my channel so you won't miss any upcoming lessons or tips that helps your learning. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Muchas gracias. Kamemban. Arigatou. Hey Siri. Hello Siri.
I'm listening.
I'm listening. She hung up on me.